Sensational from OpTic.
Chino. Oh, he finds Sue. Chops going down and Dashi clutches up.
And it's Slasher. And suddenly the sweep comes in from OpTic.
You have to deal with TJ, and TJ shuts the door.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. Seattle home series in full swing so far, and now we have an elimination matchup. This is going to be a fun one. Again, very, very high stakes for both of these teams. A little bit of drama between the two of them and a bit of a history. And now one of them will be going home. This is going to be a fun one again. As I say, we're about halfway through the day as we've got OpTic Gaming Los Angeles going up against Paris Legion. We've got Surge Guerrillas a little bit later after that one. We'll see if the farming continues. But yeah, we are going to be sending our first team home, boys. I'm very, very excited to do so. My name is Miles Ross. I'll be one of the commentators leading you through the day. Lad in the middle is Momo. And the guy on the end is Nameless. Big fans of all of you. How you doing there? How you doing there, Phil?
I'm good. I think I was, getting a little warmed up a little too early before. But Miles, I'm ready. I'm ready to go into this one. Like I always say, I love these elimination matches. It sounds, I don't know, it sounds horrible to say, but when you start sending teams home, you start seeing that those teams get, to Championship Sunday or whatever it is called. It's like this is the best bit of the tournament where teams start to fall, teams start to shine. You see those individual performances. Excited to get things kicked off, and with a good game as well. These guys have got some history too.
Yeah, we do indeed. Nameless, do you also like to watch people suffer? Do you like to send teams home when it comes this part of the tournament? Is that who you are?
I mean, I don't like to watch anybody not succeed. I heard we came out of the break, you guys were like, this is the most exciting time. I can't wait to send someone home. Like, what? No, but it is exciting to see, OpTic Gaming, they're the runners-up of the last tournament. They find themselves in a bad situation. It's exciting to see if they can burst out of it. We know yesterday, they were complaining on Twitter after the series and stuff like that. They just have to get over that and come today with a new look.
Yeah, there has to be a serious regain, I think, and you're right. So for OpTic, again, previous placement for them, of course, in the Florida home series was second place. Not a bad look for them whatsoever. But there's a bit of fluctuation between the performances right now. They're not looking as hot as they have done here at the Seattle home series. What do we think, boys? Momo, do we think this is a dip in form for OpTic? Are they throwing darts at a dartboard right now? And that's the kind of performance you're going to get. What was your vibe?
So first things first, going back to when OpTic played second, I think that was an outstanding achievement for them. I think that might have been an overachievement in a weird way, but I think they've just set that bar so high now. To keep that is very difficult. I actually think so far OpTic has gone as I would expect them to do. I expected these guys to lose against Røkkr, but I do expect them to beat Paris. I think they are a better team. I think they've got better qualities. I think the games versus Røkkr were very, very close. I mean, it was a nail biter for some of them, but
round 11.
I think OpTic Gaming, they've certainly stepped it up. I don't see them as a second place team, to answer your question. I just think that they're on the rise, and I think their stock is one to watch moving forward. Interestingly enough, these next couple of weeks is big for OpTic Gaming. We start getting towards the tail end of the season, and obviously we know now how important it is going into champs, how important it is to finish, third, fourth, fifth, sixth in this CDL. So one to watch out for sure.
Nameless, what do you think, man? What's going on with OpTic?
I mean, I think they lost to a good Røkkr team. Going into that one, we didn't know what Røkkr we were going to get or what OpTic Gaming we were going to get. And I think we saw two solid teams right now who are trying to find their identity, and Minnesota edges them out in a Game 5, Round 11. I think that series could have gone either way. I think OpTic Gaming should just brush that off and focus on the new day. I don't think that even the community shouldn't hold too much into that series. Like OpTic Gaming is a team that a couple weeks ago wasn't winning games at all, and now they're taking a solid roster in Minnesota all the way to a Game 5, Round 11. I still think that it was a decent performance out of them.
Yeah, not bad performance whatsoever. Now let's look at the other side of this matchup, of course, Paris Legion. Again, a big shout out to everyone who's watching the French broadcast stream. That is available on YouTube as well. So if you're not quite as familiar as most of the viewers are with English, go check that one out as well. And I think I said this last time, but French sounds great over Call of Duty, man. It's a beautiful language. It really flows, even if you don't know what's being said. But let's talk a little bit about Paris Legion now, boys. Again, they lost to the Huntsmen yesterday as well. What do we think of that matchup, Phil? Because personally, for me, I didn't think that was a tremendous loss for Paris. I think the games were relatively close. not a terrible look. Definitely a capability for them to bounce back. And against a team like OpTic Gaming LA right now, I think that's possible.
I think it's most certainly possible. But again, I kind of looking at the bigger picture in the whole CDL 2020 season so far, Paris came in and shocked everyone. These guys put kind of the bar, a little higher than what we expected. We expected this team to be at the very bottom. And I think that they maintained that for a little bit, but I feel like they knew a lot more. I think they learned the game a lot quicker than a lot of these teams, but everyone seems to have caught up. Everyone seems to have kind of almost taken over, and they do challenge teams, they do pressure and push teams, but they seem to fall short quite a lot in, quite a lot of areas, and I worry for Paris because I think there's got a star-studded roster, but I think they're just outclassed in a lot of ways, but it should be a tough game. I think OpTic Gaming is no walk in the park. It's not the OpTic Gaming of old. We're talking 2 months ago where you'd expect this to, maybe go to a game 5 and Paris take it. They've got a very tough job on their hands here, Miles.
Indeed. I mean, let's look at Seattle day one. This is the top 5 KDs, obviously, on your screen. Den sitting pretty much at the top there, only being trailed by Wuskin slightly there at 1.38 to 1.34. Nameless, tell me, bro, what's going on there? We've got a team that the ingredients don't seem to sort of fit the cooking order, right? Like, there's something going wrong here.
Yeah, well, I mean, in their series yesterday versus Huntsmen, Dens had a great first map, so did Zed. When Zed and Kismet are playing at that fast pace, it's going to help players like Dens and Luca just pick up a ton of kills. Like, we saw Dens having a great performance. I don't think he's a one-man band whatsoever. He relies on his teammates to play like that. I just think that when they're on their back foot and they do go down in a map or stuff starts to get tough, that's when Kismet and Zed need to just play a little bit slower, like not their overall gameplay, just when they're on the back foot, they need to address that and be aware of that, because that's when they start to get put in the blender, as Merc was talking about earlier. So that's what I'll be looking out for them in this series.
Interesting. Those adaptations on the fly are really hard to do, man. That's one of the things I'd love to see coaches be able to actually talk in-game to their teams. Man. Can you imagine that? Like in between a search and destroy round or in between the dom rounds, I think it'd be amazing. But Phil, again, talking about pace and being set right now, we're going to have a look at the game fuel keys to victory in just a moment. We're going to Paris up, but we'll OpTic up first, I believe. But do you think the Paris have the mental fortitude to really bounce back here and go, we had a bad first day, now backs against the ropes, we can make a comeback against OpTic? Again, these teams are tied at 1-1 in their overall record against each other. I haven't seen the maps just yet, but I would be hesitant to say that. Actually, take it back, mate. Game fuel keys to victory. We're on screen. Nameless. Sorry, brother. That's on me.
Miles just went on a crazy rant. I don't even know what he was saying. But
I had a question in there somewhere, but dude, let's forget about the loss. You talked about this one, mate. Chino's got to step it up, though, right? Yeah. Phil, tell me about Chino before we get into Paris.
I mean, I think these are Nameless's keys to victory. I'm sure Nameless has got stats.
He's had plenty of this segment, mate. That's on me, but he's...
But Chino, again, he came in, made a huge impact, and I think yesterday we didn't see the best out of Chino. I think we saw one good map, which was on Cave, which was, again, where he was very comfortable. But that was, map 4? He didn't seem comfortable. He didn't seem like he was playing to his potential, and I think he does need to improve a little bit, especially on his hard point performance. But the second one, we saw the best out of him.
Yeah, and to elaborate on that a little bit, when I say forget about yesterday's losses, we saw them complaining a little bit about things that were out of their control, and we know the players on that team can tilt really easily. So going into today, they have to completely forget about that and focus on the task at hand. It's so easy for those players to get in a rut and just get frustrated, so they got to get rid of that mentality altogether.
Yeah, and you touched on these in the game fuel keys to victory for Paris, and again about the speed, the pacing that these teammates have got set. Denzel Luca doing a big job there off of Kismet and Zed going fast. Shock's kind of being the in-between guy there, really finding the openings for his squad. But finding that balance is going to be the tallest order here, I think, for Paris Legion. Again, a squad that has the makeup to deal a lot of damage, to really cause upsets. They were on the bottom of everyone's tier list coming into the CDL. They surprise everyone on day one. Now they're kind of fizzling out, but I think balance is what will help get them back to that winning, sort of like that shocking mentality that we saw them come into the beginning of the season with.
100%.
Phil, any other? Yeah, man, 100%. I think any other things you want to touch on, Phil? Then again, in this series, we've got 2 solid teams here, man, with a bit of a history. But do you think current form is sitting in the favor of OpTic?
I think so. I think when we look at current form, it's not looking great for Paris, if I'm being completely honest. But again, it's just they always challenge these teams, push them, and then go, bow out, whether it be a 3-0 loss or a 3-1 loss, even if they push it to a 3-2. But Paris need to go back to kind of how they were at the very start of this season and have that kind of confidence, not kind of the play style. But at the very opening week, Paris, they took down OGLA. It was a game 5, but the games were pretty close. The Search and Destroys we're back in 2, but I think Paris, they certainly have that quality. And again, I feel like I've not seen that CDL launch Kismet since the very beginning. I think it just kind of started so high, and he was just one that was like, whoa, this kid is very good at this game. And it's just kind of gone a little bit stale. So I've been waiting for that, but I feel I've been waiting for that for quite a while now.
Yeah, how long are you going to keep waiting for? Again, the Quickscope brought to you by the US Air Force coming up shortly. And Nameless, anything to add there on Kismet, his performances throughout the season?
I mean, he's just a streaky player. He's up and down. For the last few years, he's sort of been like that. And I've been waiting on him to find his consistency. So maybe the time's now. But, you know, earlier in the season, he was great. And then now he's just found himself in the cycle. So let's see if he can change it up going forward.
Yeah, both teams again relatively evenly matched when it comes to the quick scope. Again, OpTic 5 and 10, whereas that Paris 6 and 9. That's the biggest differentiator I think between the two teams. And go and have a look at those maps and modes coming up shortly, brought to you by the US Air Force as well. And this is really, I think, what's going to decide the series. Again, Paris got a couple of good maps under their belt. OpTic as well. I mean, we've seen some Arc Club Peak Search and Destroys that have really gone back and forth, and that is going to be a lot of fun to deal with. So here we go. I think, Phil, we have our maps. Actually, I'm actually referring to a document I received here, but they have maps and modes on your screen, friends. And Art Club, Game 5, that's what I'm looking for, man. That's going to be a really exciting one. Anything that sticks out to you there, Phil?
The first thing that sticks out is map 1. Hardpoint on Cave, we got to see OGLA play this, and this is where Chino was great. This is where he felt comfortable, and I was saying, this is the one map which we kind of watched this squad. We saw their submachine gun players running around and just getting those cuts, feeling comfortable. So I look at this and I think, you know, have these guys played this before? Yes, they have, but it was right at the very start against each other. Paris took it. I actually see it going the other way. I think OpTic Gaming get off to a hot start here in game number 1. And that concerns me a bit for Paris because I think, like we said about the consistency of like Kismet, I think Zed is very much a momentum-based player. If he starts well, he'll have a great series. But sometimes if map 1 doesn't go his way, I feel like it just starts to become like that mediocre series. I don't see him like picking it up in map 3 and running away with it. So I think for me, a key to victory for Paris would actually be just starting super strong, getting that momentum going, and getting them all riled up as well.
Indeed, don't forget we saw Dashy drop, was it 37 kills on that as the hard point yesterday as well. So, well, gentlemen, I think we've talked enough about OpTic Gaming, but I think it's about time we send this to a little video piece so we talk about our French friends, Paris Legion.
Coming into the CDL, no one really had Paris Legion as a good team. You didn't think they were going to win a series. Quickly did we learn we were very, very wrong.
Paris Legion are the biggest surprise of the CDL so far.
You have them bottom of the power rankings. Boy, oh boy, are you wrong.
They're not the best players in the world, so they need to outsmart, they need to outplay.
They all bring something to the table that works really nicely together.
There's no egos. These guys aren't champions, they haven't won everything, there's no rings on their fingers. These guys are hungry, they're passionate, and they have the right players around them.
It's about buying time now for your teammates, but Denz only needs the pistol!
Denz is coming through so hot for this Paris Legion team.
He's just been so crucial.
He is that kind of consistent, slaying power that they need.
Not done just yet because he has all the audio cues. Kismet now with 3.
I will always say, whatever team Kismet is on, for the most part, he'll be your X Factor. He's very well prepared. He manages to understand the weaknesses and the strengths of people's setup.
Paris Legion right now is super tough to call.
It's a wild card team that you know can upset the big teams.
I see them mid-pack, but with huge potential.
They have got some tough opponents coming up. These guys are going to struggle, they're going to be tested, and I think with that test, they may improve themselves.
Everyone has to really give them the respect they deserve. They're a team who is hungry to prove people wrong.
The kill feed is all orange. They're sending a message.
All right, so I think we're going into this one. I have been told that we potentially have lost Miles, so all these times he's made these silly, stupid accents of mine. Nameless, you might be still with me. If you're there, that'd be awesome. I don't know if you can. I'm doing well. I've got the gameplay in front of me, which is about to commence. But have you, Nameless? Are you going to be our surprise caster today?
Oh, I'd have to find the gameplay link.
I tell you what.
You get it up
whilst we get into that, Nameless, I'm popping you the link right here. There you go. Let's get into this one. Okay, I've been told we don't have any Nameless as well. So it's all steam ahead. Stuck with me. We'll get the hairy bearded Australian back on your screen as soon as is available. But as we jump into this hard point, like myself and Miles pointed out before, keep your eyes on the likes of Chino, feeling that comfort, as well as Kenny and the SMGs of OGLA. Dashi dropped 37 kills on this very map and mode. Shox, though, kicking things off with a nice double and a strong start here for the Paris Legion. Rotating as well to that second half will be important. And Dens, of course, putting up all those impressive stats, the KD ratios and damage dealt. We'll have to see and catch up with him a little bit later. But as things start to pan out with only 15 seconds left, Paris Legion maintaining, again, that strong structure towards the back of this second half point. Chino, Dashi, TJ, and Slasher all picking up kills at the right time. But are they going to be able to make that second wave of kills?
There we go. Testing. I think I may or may not be back, but if I am, let's rock and roll, my friends. Not a bad start for Paris
Welcome back,
Legion.
Miles.
Momo, thanks, brother.
I didn't even get an impression of you. Didn't even get an impression of you.
I can tell you were close, though.
I was close, though. I was close to letting some Australian out, honestly. It's the only thing that tickles you the wrong way. But I'm glad you're back. You were, I'm sure, missed greatly. And you haven't missed much. Paris, of course, holding the middle and holding the second rotation. But the Slaying side, most definitely, is on par with OpTic Gaming as well.
I was going to say, you called that out, a nice structured approach there from Paris. They managed to lock down KVs quite well initially, but that last break from OpTic was squeaky clean. Now forcing Paris to spawn still at the back, but they're having to think about how they push this one through. And TJ Halley, almost getting Zed there as well, but lovely bit of work now from OpTic Gaming LA as they try to hold that hard point for a little bit of time, trying to keep Paris off it as well. But it looks like Legion managed to get back in there. A nice 3-piece there from Zed. Keeps the hard point in the hands of Legion. Now we roll over towards next 10 seconds remaining over to the soccer field. We go, Philip, and not a bad start from Legion, but pace is the thing. You know, we've heard the performances of Zed. Starts off super hot, keeps his team in it to begin with, and then he fizzles out towards that mid-game mark. Let's see if that will be the case here on Azir Cave.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say as well, it seemed like Paris have had control this whole time, and you know, in the grand scheme of things, they have. The points haven't really gone all that too much to their advantage. Yes, they're in a 10-point lead here, but OpTic Gaming have done a really good job of contesting the point, keeping them off of that point on that second rotation. And now, as they rotate towards this field, they did have that kind of power position. But as the kills go down, Kismet finds a double. Zed enters the battlefield with a nice shot there as Røkkr and Shox pick up kills. It's a very much back and forth game here, 51 apiece, as we do see a lead change for the first time in the game. OpTic Gaming are going to take that one as Kenny finds himself another double on the hill as well. But Miles with 15 seconds left. Kenny and that multi-kill, rotating over to the cave. This is exactly what happened previously. And it was this very hard point coming up next in the bottom side of the cave where Chino started to go off.
Yeah, indeedy. OpTic with a nice early rotation. They're going to have a ton of time here off the break. Scrap goes the way of Legion, which keeps them in the lead for now, but watch that change very quickly. Chino gearing up to try to make something big happen here. Last three members of OpTic there on the inside of the cave. Slasher managing to make that backside safe, and it does give his teammates spawn to the left-hand side, but Legion, their attack is going to be taking place from inside the cave, and here we go from Slasher's POV. He cuts down Zed with a bit of help from Chino. Røkkr is now going to make his way forward as well. A nice two-piece for the young Australian.
Back-to-back two pieces for Røkkr there. He gets 4 in a row.
It counts as 4.
It does indeed.
He manages to keep them all going.
Kismet and Dens jumping into the action as well, but that kill feed all white here for the Paris Legion. 5 streaks for Røkkr. A strong break is going to find Paris in a much better position, rotating it over. And you've seen the stats as well as I have, Miles. I know I'm very much a numbers guy. The hard point coming up next, obviously, the 5th and final one, is a very tough one to break. I think statistically, in the top 2 hardest ones to break alongside that Hackney Yard second hard point. Now we'll have to see what Paris can do to break on through. A couple kills going Kismet's way would help, but Røkkr and Dens find 2 elsewhere. The Slaying side for Paris suddenly stepped up.
Yeah, dude, talking about that pace, we're talking about Kismet and Zed being the fast-race players, and they're doing what they can here to try and keep that pace set. Slasher, though, is going to try and slow him down. High ground position, watching over the hard point, trophy systems out and about. And watch Zed, that number 0 on the minimap. He's just going to fly forward. He's just going to charge forward. He's got his teammates now backing him. This is a big push now from Legion right through the middle. Shox is going to get the entry kill. And now try to get Dashy as well. Do we have presence for Paris here on the hard point? Not enough. As the nades continue to roll through, Slasher throws a peach across map, gets Dens and Kismet. Luca now trying to find the kills and through the side. So not a bad look from either team. OpTic have yet to really be able to grab a solid chunk though out of these hard points though.
Yeah, this is it's been an interesting hard point because, again, when you look at the scoreline, very much even, but each team has had that positioning to kind of go wild on a hard point, and no one's kind of capitalized on that yet. But do you credit the offense of both teams of breaking? Do you credit, you know, a little bit of, or discredit, sorry, the lack of being able to hold a hard point? It really just seems like a very well matched up, you know, team roster to roster. And we kind of predicted this going into it. We had a little talk with Nameless, obviously, beforehand, and said how this really should be a good series to watch. These guys have met up twice before. They've split that one. They're currently 1-on-1, so bragging rights are on the line, as well as, all importantly, staying in the competition. For you guys at home, this is an elimination match as well. Keep that in mind.
Yep, elimination match. That means one of these teams is out of the tournament, and a big one at that. Paris looking to return to shocking form, taking names, but they haven't quite done that in a while. And for OpTic, trying to get back to that second place, going back to back in tournaments would be great. Another spot in the finals here in the home series would be ideal, but they've got to fight tooth and nail for it, and they have to get through Legion first. Zed locking down hardpoint with as much vigor as he possibly can muster, and once again, Paris are going to have KV spawns off the rip. Can they capitalize on this one? And again, central hardpoint, very difficult to maintain a lot of time from. Kismet's going to lock down that left-hand side flank. Essentially alone. He actually manages to get the kill on TJ, so that's going to be that. Luca in control of the next fill. What does Paris have on the defensive hold here?
They have everything. They have absolutely everything. They had the whole kill feed. They have the points. And you notice the player that's actually sat there, I think it's Kismet. Maybe Luca is just sat on the point. He's almost just sat there chilling at the moment. Feet up. Maybe grab a beverage or two, because these players were all pushed out. You saw Kismet over by the field as well, but as OpTic Gaming starts to collapse now through the cave, this is a little bit of a choke point, and throwing every single thing at it might work, but Shox is going to deny it with 2. Luca has been playing fantastic all game long, 26 and 12 on a 3-kill streak, a minute and 13 of objective time as well. Ironically, I think he's the only player positive for Paris Legion, but it really doesn't matter right now. He seems to be putting them all in his backpack and running away with this one. Pushing forward, though, the last 10 seconds will go towards Paris, and we will go back to the field.
Yeah, that was a great hard point for Legion there, almost the full 60, and they've done a brilliant job of managing to take on the OpTic attack, which they did not manage to survive in the first set of hard points. So here we go, a lead starting to develop for Paris Legion. OpTic with a rotate, managing to get into the soccer field first. Gotta watch that back though. Kismet's trying to find the players who've got Heady Quago, just chilling out there in the bottom of the plan, like opposite blue. So again, these slow defensive hold here from OpTic, trying to make sure there doesn't anything that happen, and it's not really worked out for him. Kismet's coming through the back. He could potentially get 2 more if he gets the timing right, but now the counter-attack from OpTic is on. Luca holding the line from up top. Kismet's going to be that low ground first player in on this side of the map. See this hold here from Paris Legion, Phil. Once again, a massive amount of hardpoint time for them.
Yeah, it's really been kind of the biggest lead that we've seen so far in this map. I mean, a 50-point lead, and a pretty good one at that, with another 15 seconds left on the field. OpTic Gaming, you'd like to think the 2-3 steps ahead going into the cave, but look at Sneaky. It's Zed who's going to find one. If he finds a second here, this could be a difference maker. He's going to go down, but look at the kill feed elsewhere. Players from Paris starting to collapse on in. Slasher running with that M4 as well. He's going to try and lock down this cave with a trophy, a Semtex, and a stun. Throw everything at the kitchen sink at that one. But with 60 seconds, this is a must hold for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, big time hold here. Chino's just been taken off of the top perch by Chickens now, so there's a backdoor opening for the Legion to flood through, and boy, they're going to do it. Here comes the push through Doggy Door. Luca managed to find 2 of that one. Dashing not able to get in position fast enough. Shox, he gets involved as well, and vous allez! Paris Legion have just exploded onto the point. They managed to get almost every single kill. Luca's on a 5. The smokes are going to be going down. Got to hold OpTic in position here. They can win it here, maybe not anymore. They just come off the point, but wow, what a break from Paris Legion, and this could be another solid amount of time. Look towards the next rotation. Look towards the map win.
Yeah, I mean, this lead is only getting bigger. It's a great break from TJ, and credit to him there to break on through. But again, the submachine gun players, Kismet, Shox, and they're just having an absolute fun time, shall we say, going into this hard point. You see that their movement and the way that they're playing here, so fluid. And again, you've just got to give a lot of credit to Luca. The guy is 36 and 16, I believe, if my glasses are the right prescription, that is. But Kismet, 30 and 25. again, I kind of said before, the only player positive for Paris was Røkkr. That is not the case anymore. Everyone's stepping it up. That kill feed just so bright, so white, and it is looking good for Paris Legion. OpTic Gaming, though, on the other hand, this was a map and mode which I was pretty impressed with yesterday. Today's a different day.
Indeed, what a run from Kismet this has been. He's going to find kill number 7 just before being taken down there, and now Legion got to try to get back on that point because it's not over yet. OpTic managed to make their way through the top side of the map, and now they're going to be holding on a P5, as we call it, that cliff face, the final hard point here on Azir Cave, and it could be the final hard point, but it looks like with Paris, 10 seconds now for the win. Kismet got to hold on to something big, once again on point. Big shots there on Ndashi. Here comes the continued push from OpTic, but they're not managing to get a single thing. Kismet, once again, he keeps the kills coming, but no. OpTic, they hold on. Got to get the rotation to the last one. I keep calling these hard points wrong. It's not the last one. This could well be it. Røkkr's in position. Is there anyone from OpTic to stop it? 5 seconds for the win. The nades are going to be coming through, the trophy systems are down, and Paris Legion will open up the series with a nice map 1 win.
Honestly, if that game is closer, if that's a 250 to 245 to Paris, we could have seen Røkkr break the kill record. That kid just finished 41 and I believe 19. That was outstanding. An individual performance that I'm sure he will remember, one which Paris will thank him for as well. I'm trying to just check those stats there. 41 and 19. Those are not working with my eyes right now. But apart from that, it was just a very well-rounded performance from the squad themselves. And again, it wasn't just him. You know, yes, Røkkr, I confirm. 41-19, 7,000 score. But Kismet just dropped 39 kills as well. Like, 2 kills behind him. Sorry to Kismet, unnoticed a little bit during that game as Røkkr overshadowed him. But it was just a strong performance from the get-go. And at the very start of this series, Miles, the one thing I said was, firstly, I thought OpTic were going to win. Again, hold my hands up, I was wrong. But for Paris, I think they are a very momentum-based team. Get them riled up, and that is the perfect way to start this.
Fantastic stuff again from Paris Legion. Røkkr, yeah, that we've just received a stat line there that 41 is Røkkr's highest kills he's managed to get in a single map. So congratulations to him. I will say, man, it's been a while since we've seen an AR player be the lead runner there in the kills department in a hardpoint in Azir Cave. I mean, ever since Sims 51 or 50 Bomb, we've been seeing most of those kills being set by submachine gun players, which is interesting to know. So brilliant stuff from Paris Legion. Get themselves the first map here in the series. OGLA gonna have to get back to the drawing board and think on that one. But now, Phil, it's time for our picks of the day, brought to you by Grubhub, mate. Who did you go with? Because I know who I should have gone with.
Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda in this circumstance. Going into this, we obviously get asked before the day, really. One player that stood out to me for OpTic Gaming was Slashy yesterday, especially in the search and destroys. I think he's really kind of found his feet, and that's who I went for. It looks like you went for none other than Kenny. Benton, shout out to Benton, by the way. Great pick on call. Zero.
Great pick on the Zero. That's a really good call. You had a fantastic series earlier on today. But yeah, I went with Quavo based on yesterday's performance. So he was going to wake up today and he was going to grab up and get stuck into the games. But so far, Røkkr was the pick, man. I mean, that was an unbelievable performance. But Phil, we do this every single time when the Grubhub segments come up here on the show. But mate, what did you have for lunch today? What was your Grubhub meal?
The fans' favourite, of course, is Grubhub time of what I had for food on this miraculous day.
Was it sushi
Miles,
or was it
honestly,
wings?
I don't know. I sent a lot of pictures. I don't know which one they're going to pick. I've had ramen this week. I've had sushi this week. I've tried to get better at cooking, but I tell you what, Grubhub makes it difficult, right? It makes it very, very difficult. I've tried to, embrace this quarantine and go, how am I going to better myself? I'm going to learn to cook. Breakfast, I feel, has got nailed down. But what did you have, Miles? I can't remember what I had. You had sushi,
I had sushi.
Okay.
I had sushi. It was amazing. There's a place called Tenno Sushi, not too far from where I live. I think it's in little... It's nearby.
Let's have a look.
Exactly
Let's
where
have
it
a
is.
look
But
at
dude,
your sushi.
fantastic. It was delicious. I had a good time. But dude, no jokes though. Do what you can, friends. Support local businesses. Again, Grubhub.
Oh wow.
If you jump onto their, I'm telling you, mate, it was a good meal. It was a succulent, delicious sushi meal.
Did you share that?
But hell, maybe. Yeah, my wife had a bit. But I was like, I've had a big day. I need the calories. She did help out though. Anyway, Grubhub, doing what they can to support local businesses. And again, in your time zone from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m., get on the app. You're going to get $10 off orders of $30 or more. Head to the perks section of the app. Do what you can to support your local businesses. Grubhub. And a massive shout out, not only to Grubhub, but also to our producer, Peter Smith, who gets us these codes and allows us to have Grubhub meals almost every single day of these working weekends. The man is keeping us fed and we love him.
Shout out, Smitty. We love you.
Shout out, Smitty. Smitty.
Send some more good stuff our way. However, a great start for Paris Legion, and again, I want to go back to the point, and not to rinse and repeat, but it gets me excited, Miles, because I feel when Paris lose map 1, I'm like, oh, this is not going to be a great series. But now it excites me. Now I'm excited to see confidence ooze from those players, and I think Kismet, Zed, and even Røkkr are those type of players which are very momentum based. I think Shox and Dens have got all the experience in the world. I mean, we're talking over a decade of Call of Duty. This is something they live and breathe. But we're already into the search and destroy, and Miles are on board with Kismet here, who's found himself up a ladder in a room and staring at a door.
Yeah, not a bad look though. He managed to dodge the pre-fire there through the door into top mid, which would have been cool. Chino, he and the boys are going to be locking down B. It's a 2-1-1 split here across Ramaza. B site looking to be the favourable position, and OpTic have made the read initially, but Paris Legion now going to slowly but surely transition across the map, trying to hit that top bridge spot. It's going to be on Slasher now to really watch these players. Den's trying to find some intel on the player coming out of Electronic Shop. Not going to be happening. Slasher just caught the glimmer of a Shox as he went around the corner there. So watch for the push now from the remaining OpTic defenders to come across that mid-map from B. Try to make a defensive play here.
Slasher is not alone. He's got TJ right with him, and TJ finding the double. Not only that, but Slasher finding the triple between the pair, and just like that, you can almost write this one down here. All down to Kismet. He is going to take down Kenny, but a quick trade comes through, and that is a commanding start, and a great little partnership up there by the construction of Slasher and TJ. They were kind of bobbing and weaving, and I thought for a second Slasher had just left a little too soon. He was pre-aiming that catwalk. He jumped down. I was like, you could have had a couple, but little did I know, TJ was upstairs as well.
Yeah, TJ's timing on that peek could not have been better. 1, 2.
Peekaboo.
In and out. Slasher catches the guy on the stairs. Brilliant stuff. Good start here from OpTic Gaming as we're now going to roll into round number 2. OpTic on offense. Getting a 3-1-1 split. B-stack here for Paris Legion on the defense. TJ so fast though, so furious.
All right, so TJ seems to have taken all the confidence from Paris. He seems to be the one rocking and rolling right now. I did want to point out the S&Ds that these guys have played. They've obviously played 3 head-to-head against each other. One was a convincing 6-1 for OpTic. Paris had a 6-3 convincing victory, and it was on this very map as well on Ramaza. That was game 5 all the way back at the start of the season. The most recent S&D they played went to a round 11, so a very kind of back-and-forth battle between OGLA and Paris Legion. But again, it's just another exciting series to bring to you guys. But if you missed it, Paris took the hard point.
Wait. Røkkr in position. Lets one go by.
Oh, no.
Shots. Røkkr can't quite get any more. That's unfortunate. He could have potentially let maybe 2 players go there before laying down the covering fire. Kismet managing to now make his way across map as quickly as he possibly can. Chino on the plant. Kismet activates Dead Silence. Here he comes. Barging up the stairs silently. He managed to slip through. Oh, Chino with a big kill. That's massive, though. OpTic going to keep the advantage here on the defensive hold. No Dead Silence being activated for anyone else here on Paris Legion, so they have to walk in the old-fashioned way. Or take the ladder, if your name's
climb, run. Shox has handled one. It's now down to a 2v2. Shox and Zed up against Slasher and Kenny. Of course, the bomb ticking 23 seconds. Slasher covering the outside, but he does hear one. That's going to be Zed dead. And all down to Shox here with 15 seconds. It's not likely. He might be able to find Slasher, and that he will. But Slasher, one more kill in the bank. I will say, Maya, Slasher has been performing outstanding on Search and Destroy these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, that kill in itself at that range with against the player using an MP5, Slasher just won a big one to get the round there. Talking about confidence from TJ, confidence from Slasher hitting shots like that. Crazy stuff. Another good round here for OpTic Gaming. Paris falling a little short.
I'd actually like to, and I will, check out kind of Slash's Search and Destroy. Maybe improvement, whether it's just been over these past couple of weeks, but I can see him on Arklov a couple of times. I can see him right here. He just seems like he's very, very comfortable in the positions that he's been given. And Kenny could be gifted a little double here as Kismet runs into the gun. So does Zed. Kenny looking to close things out, and a quick concussion out will concuss him. Jump around the corner. Double for Kenny. I want to say it was kind of gifted to him, but he handled it very well. A good use of that concussion as well. Shox does find another. Now, a 3v4.
Yeah, not a problem whatsoever. 3v4 now, almost on site. It's only going to be Dens holding down that back lane. But Dashi, if he peeks this well, he could potentially find a kill No one able to get the bomb forward here. Paris Legion, again, it's been dropped in the sort of back laneway just to the side of the site. So someone's going to have to go and retrieve it. Slasher in position to maybe watch that one. Shox, they've got full site control to a degree. But again, they got to go for that bomb. Quick trade comes through. Slasher manages to get the kill immediately. Makes it a 2v2. Luka does manage to grab it. TJ on the flank now. Makes it all that harder. A perfect pinch developing now with Luka right in the middle. Sandwich. And Slasher will take the first and the last bite of it. And close out the round easy peasy.
Yeah, even then, again, not to gas Slasher up too much. I know he's a confident player in his own, but that bomb goes down. It's not a rushing move. It was a calculated decision. I think Slasher is a smart player. You know, he's a smart individual, and he just kind of waited, anticipated that potential push, and it doesn't kind of take the most amount of gun skill, but sometimes it is just the difference maker, and Slasher, again, always seems to put himself in a very good position. I think he's 5-0 now. OpTic Gaming 3-0. Great stuff from OGLA.
This is going to be a big round for OGLA as well. I mean, 3-0 is one thing, but now this next round, round number 4, they have 4 out of their 5 dead silence field upgrades available to use.
Right.
Watch to see them play this extremely aggressively, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go A. I mean, they can do basically whatever they want with that dead silence. There's a lot of ways to slither around this map. Opening nades are going to be the saving grace here for Paris Legion to try to catch something, but no, not to be had whatsoever. Wait for those dead silence plays to hit. OpTic, again, able to do pretty much whatever they want. Oh, Luka just managing to get the tag in the TJ without being going down. First blood goes the way of OpTic LA. Quavo once again on the defensive kills as they take control of A site. And they're going to do what they can and get that bomb down, and it looks like Slasher is actually playing Island once again in mid-map, and he's surrounded by opponents. Hasn't activated his dead silence yet, but brilliant work again from OpTic. The comms are absolutely flowing.
Yeah, that's Dashi's first kill right there. But the reason he got that, and I'll tell you for free, Slasher was telling him exactly where he was. He was crouched in this room, and he was calling out. He could hear those little toes twinkling, should I say, across that top mid.
Twinkle
toes, yeah, an interesting one for you. I'll throw that in for free. Zed is going to fall. Interestingly, though, Miles, the whole momentum and hype and riled up Paris that I talked about, what a way to shut it down. OpTic have come here in a round by round, played it very calculated. We've seen kind of the stylistic play that you want to see out of a team. And individually speaking of kind of TJ and Slasher, they seem to be very much kind of running the show here, it seems.
Yep. Dude, OpTic just looks so organized, man. We talked about this yesterday.
And is that the addition of Chino? Is that the addition of a new player? Is that, you know, a difference in how they're going over things in VOD review? Like, it's so interesting how a team can just look so different. Slasher 7-0, my goodness.
Yeah, man. Last time we saw Slasher, I believe, on this map, it was the other way round, dude. He went 007.
You're right.
He's managed to transform that performance, man. What a move. From the Liddy Goat, the second kill comes through as well. Slasher. He is an absolute nightmare right now for Paris Legion. They will get the kill. And finally, we see an advantage go the way of Paris.
Finally, we see Thanos fall.
It's not over yet, mate. Dashi, I mean, he's aggressive. He's dead. Paris Legion get themselves on the board, but is it too little too late? They were very, very quiet, as OpTic said, fermez la bouche. And now they've reopened this one. Okay. Do we have a game in our hands yet? Is that the momentum swing Paris needed?
Potentially. I think OpTic Gaming have just looked so clean-cut in this search and destroy. I'd need to see more from Paris, but it's a good start, Miles. Everyone's got to start somewhere, you know? Potentially that is what Paris need, and as they find their first round on the board, Slasher does not find that 10th in a row, but 9-1 for him. Zed yet to kick off with anything, but again, his team has been struggling round by round. As again, quick check of that minimap. Calculated play here from OpTic. It seems like a very slow play, almost trying to find a player pushing out and being over-aggressive.
Still TJ there trying to catch the over-aggressive player. I mean, he's your guy, right? Shox knows TJ's in position. Trying to bait out the player to come through that side door, but it's not going to happen. Bomb could be making its way across map. They're going to double peek that position by the top of the gate. Try to just rip the player out at the top of the B side. Yeah. They're trying to bait him. Oh, what nade that was! TJ Shox. He must have just taken enough damage. No EOD on that class, so he's done. And that's going to be a fantastic opening Kismet's going to reposition now and try and look for these players trying to reinforce in the site from OpTic.
And look at what that first blood has done. I think that's the 4th first blood, or maybe the 5th actually for OpTic. But what it's done is put Paris in a position now where they start to push out. They start to think, hang on, what's going on? The time's ticking away. And they're actually the ones to push out. Kenny is going to go down, Kismet, with that kill. Gets to the spine.
Here we go, though. Luka in from behind. Phil, Luka doesn't get managed to get the second. He's going to be dropped immediately, but now Slasher in the ensuing gunfight, in the absolute calamity that fell. It was Slasher with the fist fight. It's not over yet, Kismet. There we go. Time. I thought he was on the outside of the building for a second there. I almost lost my mind. Well, that was fun.
Time was against in there. The gauntlet got brought out, though. Slasher started beating people up top mid, and interesting to see. I know we've talked a lot about Slasher. We touched on TJ a little bit, Miles. TJ's actually found 4 of the 5 first bloods for OpTic Gaming. A huge stat line, and I think one that goes, you know, a little bit missed under the radar sometimes. You know, to give your team an edge in a round is crucial. And TJ, 4 of his 6 kills have been first bloods.
Nice use of the flash nade there to blow the door wide open. Eliminates that cover that the player hitting the top of the ladder has. Again, timing is essential there. B site completely overwhelmed now by Paris Legion. Dashi, the lone defender here. You can hear those footsteps thumping around him. Dashi, heart rate elevated somewhat, but he's cool as a cucumber. Finds one. Shuts the door immediately as well, so that little hit and run, that whack-a-mole play is going to be very helpful now for OpTic on the retake of the site. Smokes down, Zed and Kismet in position to try to catch something.
Shout out to our observers. Seeing that from a different angle was absolutely beautiful. Slasher back up, beating people up again. The Fists of Fury here from Slasher. Denson Zed, though, denies. Slasher needs his own team. Chino falls, and Slasher, he has to go from whatever it is to an absolute hero here.
Wait, he's actually going for it. There's 10 seconds left. He's jumped straight on it. There's the kill, just in time. Slasher is playing individually out of his mind right now. I mean, this is terrifying form. This is like, you know, it's Big Thanos give Hulk the hands, and you were like, oh, we're in trouble. We're getting to that point, but it seems like the rest of the...
Chino that round. I don't want to give him too much credit.
What, he's killing everything, man?
Yeah, I mean, keep Chino alive there, you could have done that.
Do you know what it is? Like, remember there's the end of Endgame where he's like, raid fire! And Corvus is like, but sire, our troops! And he's like, do it! That was it, brother. Just letting it rip on his own boys.
I feel like I'm in the movie, Miles, when you do something.
Nothing gets in the way of the Mad Titanfall, that's all I'm saying.
Let's
reel it back. Paris with the momentum and the swing. 3 rounds in a row. I
mean, that's it. You talked about it when they picked up the first one. You know, is this, you know, a game on our hands? And I was a bit dubious about that. I was thinking maybe. Right now, absolutely. Again, 3 rounds in a row. Paris started to find the holes within OpTic Gaming. And again, a chance to tie things up. Losing that first blood again. Not ideal. I think that is going to be 6 first bloods. Just the 1 of Paris.
Paris on that rotate. This is an incredibly aggressive defense. They're coming away.
Look at that
There's no way. There's no way they're not. But watch number 4. Slasher's going to hit B site and going to be like, there's no one home. We've got to make something happen here. But here goes the gunfight. Shots in from behind. Gets Chino. Nice bit of work there. Another one just to his right. Quavo slips on through. Cuts him out. 30 seconds remain. Slasher will be involved in the fight towards the end of it, but Quavo now trying to grab bomb. Clearing upstairs. Got to check every possible corner, and he caught the tip of the Zed's head there. But Den's nice timing, but not nice shots. The shots were ugly. Doesn't manage to get the kill. Dashi from upstairs is going to cut these players out, and now it's a 1 versus 2. Dens, he could have seen this gone very differently had he managed to net the kill there onto the armor.
Oh, you saw Kenny just wiggle his way around, worm his way around the bomb, and he was actually planted at that very time, and he just denies the kill going Denz's way and shooting that leg as well. That really was the game-changing kill. And this time it's going to go to OpTic Gaming. Shout out to Dashi for closing that one out. OpTic Gaming give themselves the all-important lead once more, and 5-3, 4-4, they seem worlds apart, even though it's just a 1-round swing here. OpTic Gaming match point.
Not a bad look, though, from Paris. They can bounce back from this one, keep these rounds coming, because when they win, it's pretty decisive, but the heroics were not quite there. Defensive hold now from OpTic. Looks like a deep B defense. Trying to bait out the aggression from Legion. Nate's gone through, won't find their mark. Dashi should dodge that one. Oh, there we go. Bit of a tag. That's going to give just enough information for Paris Legion now to make their way forward. Zed back in his old favourite spot. Quavo, king of the doors, will maybe break his way forward. Awkward back and forth here. Zed comes out on top. Shock's found 2 in the opening gambit here of the map. So not a bad look here from Paris Legion. 4 versus 2.
Tense moments as Chino finds the second technical 2v4. Shocks is the final one to fall there from Chino's AR. Trying to just find the tip of one player. It's going to be Røkkr, but Røkkr headshot coming into Dashi. Strips him of his title there, top window, and now as Kismet plants the bomb all up to Chino. And this round should be heading to Paris.
I mean, Chino is so patient right now, holding the line, waiting for Legion to make the mistakes. Kismet thinks he's hard enough, and he wasn't, but his teammates are. 5-4. Legion, bring it back. 1 round at a time. 1 more to tie it up. I'm not gonna lie, man, that was a bit of an iffy fight. That for Røkkr, between the mantle at that range Chino was aimed in, that could have gone either way. Squeaky bum time, Phil? Not yet.
Not just yet. Not just yet, but OpTic Gaming still just 1 round away here. Say it again. Potentially we get another round 11 between these 2 teams, and Slash has been absolutely fantastic. Kismet up top, aggressive. And in the face of the enemy. He knows TJ's here pretty much every single round, and that's why. So clean cut. Another first blood for TJ. I think that's minimum 5.
Chino with the patience. But not the aim at that time. Shocks will get the better of him. Nice nade once again from Slasher. Whatever situation he is in, he's proving to be incredibly effective. Trades coming through. Quavo with a high ground, managing to get these kills. 3v2. Shocks now essentially pinned their backside. TJ, the damage is done, goes in for the kill, hunts him down. It falls only Dens in a 1 versus 3. Bomb going down. OpTic have repositioned now for the defense. Dens, as he creeps forward, the opportunity to catch 1 would be great, but it's going to be very, very difficult to... Now it's going to be impossible to make this work.
No, the first shot was just to make Kenny out. It's worked perfectly, Miles. Miles, this is a 1v3 in the making. It's most certainly possible. He just has to hurry up and get 2 kills very quickly. Dashi, though, he's not going to let it happen. Bless him, he tried. OpTic Gaming take this one in a 6-4 fashion, tie up the series 1-1, and we'll be heading into domination all tied up. But overall, I think just the start from Slasher was incredible. The first bloods from TJ. Paris, they showed some resilience, though, in getting those rounds back in what I believe it was round 5, 6, and 7. But 14 kills for Slasher. Some would argue potentially the best Grubhub pick of the day, you know?
Whew, that's a solid pick, brother. That's 14 for 4. For the Liddy Goat. Brilliant, brilliant stuff there from OpTic Gaming. A couple of moments where it could have gone either way, but I think ultimately, Phil, a solid search. A very, very solid search and destroy. OpTic are looking extremely organized in the search games. They may have lost out in the pace when it came to Paris Legion and the hardpoint, but they managed to come through with the win in the end. This is already shaping up to be a very cool series, man. OpTic Gaming, they're making this one very, very interesting for the fans, I think, Phil. Let's have a look at the roster card now for OpTic Gaming again as we touch upon these 2 teams. Phil, where do we go from here, man? I mean, the Doms obviously next, but is it the mental fortitude for this OpTic squad now to just keep driving forward, keep going for these wins? Yeah,
and I think the domination is definitely going to be a key factor in this series, and I say that because the last 2 times these guys have matched up, they've actually split this. I want to give a lot of credit to Slasher, obviously, in dropping 14, but TJ just set a CDL 2020 record, by the way, there, with 5 first bloods in a search and destroy game. So, you know, take your hat off to Slasher, but give a round of applause to TJ. I think without TJ, we don't get Slasher's performance there, and vice versa. It was a great search and destroy, so credit to both of them. And I think going into domination, again, they just need to take that search and destroy momentum and ride it right about now.
Yeah, got to keep riding that one. But for Paris Legion now, a little bit of a regain, a little bit of a deep breath. You know, it wasn't like it was an absolute blowout. It came close at times. They will be definitely disappointed with themselves, but this is where you separate the champions from everyone else, really. You know, when you go down, it's about coming back. It's about making a recovery from that one. So I think for Paris Legion, the ability to do that is now paramount. They have to not go into this domination feeling like all is lost or feeling like they've been hard done by for any reasons. But There we go, brother. Now, Phil, speaking about being a champion, you know, you're a Warzone fan, man. I've seen you pick up many a victory with me being sort of dragged along by your side. Don't forget, I don't know what you're going to say there. Don't forget that you can get your free limited edition Call of Duty League weapon charm. Follow the link on screen below. I know I've got it. I do wish it were a little bit more camera facing so that I could see it more when I'm running around growling people up or hitting them with an MP5, because that's pretty sick right now. But yeah, don't forget, you can also use, if you're not using your phone, use the QR code on screen right there. All right, friends, well, with all that done, it's now time to throw a very quick commercial break. When we return, we've got more OGLA versus Paris Legion.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Stay connected to what matters most with the best value in wireless.
Time to claim your spot.
Warzone weekend premieres this Sunday, May 24th at 3 p.m. Eastern. We've got 12 pro teams dropping in the first ever private lobby to fight for $10,000. Tune in to see all the eliminations, 1v1 gulags, and see who came out on top. And I think I got a spoiler delivered to me by some of my co-workers, and you will not believe what you will see. Truly a first for everything here in the Call of Duty League, and now Warzone weekend. Cannot wait to do more of these. We have the access to private lobbies. We can put the best players in the world into Verdansk for your viewing pleasure. Are you not entertained, CDL fans? Are you not entertained? Anyway, we're back here with the Dom coming up now, Phil. I'm pretty ready to get into this one, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was actually muted during the segment previously, just when yesterday Nameless was like, would you like to be in there, Momo? And it was muted. I didn't even get my opinion out there. I was saying, hell no, would I like to be against every single pro player in the CDL? And he was like, why? And I was like, because that's every single pro player in the CDL. Don't want to happen. Yeah. Miles, I'm very much looking forward to that, though. Back to the action and back to the domination like we were talking about.
Yeah, indeed. Well, before we get to that, mate, we've got a US Army tactical play.
Bring it on.
And it was basically Slasher, just absolutely ripping his way through everyone. 14 kills to finish the match with, 4 deaths to his name, whether it was timing, nade placement, including teammates, or his just shot in general. Absolutely astonishing stuff from Slasher. He is going to be our US Army tactical play. The man embodies skill and strategy right now.
He really does. He's been fantastic, I think, especially in Search and Destroy. I think he very famously kind of said, this is my OpTic now at the very start of 2020, and that was a bit controversial, but I think there are a lot of Slasher fans out there. Whether you love him, you hate him, you have to respect him. This man is a champion in so many ways, and someone which I think is going to be in the game for a long time. He is a smart individual, a very tactical player, and someone who really just kind of has that whole package. I remember at the very start of this 2020 season, Miles, all the talent talking about which player going into a brand new game do you want to pick up, and Slasher was, you know, up there with the likes of Octane and many others. First name off our lips.
Didi, brother, Didi. Well, we're almost ready to roll into domination here on Hackney Yard. Map number 3 in this elimination series. One of these teams is done after this.
The way you said that. See you later. Go home.
See ya.
Oh, wait, you're already home. Done.
Alrighty. See ya.
No
Slash
mercy from Miles there.
No, wait, am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely not. These guys have
No.
played before on Gunrunner and Petro. Obviously, this being Hackney. First for everything. Paris and OpTic going head-to-head. But once again, the dominations have been split between the two teams. Great start for OpTic Gaming.
Great start from OpTic Gaming. Slasher drops back, takes care of A. They send the rest of the team in towards B. They're going to quit the cat. It goes down very fast. And now they're going to slay their way out. Røkkr trying to battle back. His teammate Skizmit on the other side trying to make a fast push in towards A. Wasn't going to happen. Looks like we got 2 members of Paris Legion trying to cut through mid, but the timing was just off there as the defensive work from OpTic Gaming is starting to work out. Røkkr still alive for the time being. They're on B. Skizmit makes his way forward. Again, that aggression we talked about from Zed and Kismet. First one's in, first one's to be shot at. Allow those ARs to deal the damage from behind. And they're trying to make something happen, but it's not easy when Dashy's up top L, taking care of the Aussies like that. That's brutal work. Doesn't quite get all 3 of them, though, as Dens will get that kill and trying to maintain that pressure on the B. But wow, OpTic Gaming still just too fast out of the gates.
Yeah, and it's always interests me when you see just a map like Hackney being played by a team like OpTic or Paris. When you've got those kind of assault rifle players in Slasher and Chino, Dens, Røkkr, one of them kind of has to adapt, and it's sometimes the difference maker of who is the better one at adapting. I think previously we saw obviously Cap with OpTic Gaming, and some things didn't work, but I'm interested to see how Chino really rocks with the MP5, because honestly I think he's such a versatile player, as is the likes of Røkkr.
Indeed, well, it'd be lovely to hear from the man himself. I think it's about time, friends. We go into a very quick Astro Gaming listen in with OpTic Gaming Los Angeles.
I'm bottom out.
Bottom.
Top 3.
Top 3 still.
It might go right side. You might go upgrade.
Right, dead.
Yeah, last guy, he's like P1, guys. P1. I have their L cut off.
Could be right. Pick up right.
Door. I stand him up there. Nice play, bro. Okay, what's your feeding wall? Get hit right. Mid. What's another guy top? I flashed right. I'm putting trophy on me. I didn't flash anything.
I'm on the right wall.
I got mid. Lay down the barrel. I'm gonna push out L.
Yo, he's low.
Oh, yeah, Røkkr hurt. I'm looking middle.
What's
middle? He's middle.
Bottom out, low. He's in.
Bottom out, top out.
Left,
Top
mini
out.
top.
I'm low.
I'm gonna stay back.
Green crate. Top out still, kid.
Still top out.
Top out, one shot, absolutely. And top middle.
They could be right.
Middle. He's up down mid.
I'm in AT.
Two mid crate. Mid AT top.
Top green too. He's already AC. Already top AC shock.
Watch out.
Yo, and one took that top out to B. There's 2 and 2.
He's under staff.
Can I stay alive? Nice.
I'll be helping a second.
One on B. P1 top up. One's in P1 close.
Good comms coming out of OpTic Gaming, and very, very disgusting performance, I will say, coming out of Quavo and TJ Halley. Wow, this is nasty, I must admit, Phil. Indeedy.
It's been a very strong start. This is the first time we've seen really Paris test them, and they do cap B. One play which was impressing me was Dashy. Again, you know, a player very versatile in every single way. Sniper, SMG, assault rifle, whatever it is, it seems like he can do it all. But he hasn't been like the shining star that he was of last year. And I feel sometimes when you see him pop off, you kind of forget, oh yeah, Bruce, you know, this is a guy who can change a game. And Dashi for me has been incredible so far with the MP5 on this map and mode here. But as we see A changing hands, it's a strong rotation from Røkkr and the boys. But with only 55 seconds, this round most certainly is going to OpTic Gaming.
Slasher is not playing around today, man. Like, not at all. He's tasted second place. He's had victory within his grasp. But now that squad, I mean, they are running this one. 13-5 for Austin Litigoat.
13 for TJ as well.
Dude, I mean, making it look real easy right now. But I will say, a surge from Paris Legion to really get themselves back into this one. But every time we cut to Slasher, he's picking up 2 kills. He's now secured B. Well, he's almost there. He's securing B. So he's finally gone back in the hands of Paris. And A flag, it seemed like Paris had it for maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds at best. OpTic Gaming just responding so deftly to everything that Paris Legion could throw at them.
Yeah, a very strong round here for OpTic Gaming. They lost a little bit there in the middle where A and C were captured by Paris, but apart from that, a very comfortable domination. The kill is certainly going in Paris' favor those last 5 seconds, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference to that scoreline. Near on, well, a 39-point lead here for OpTic Gaming, and it's a convincing one at that. Again, if they can keep things contested here and potentially push out that A flag on the next side, I think OpTic Gaming could be jumping into the hard point with a very big smile on their face. However, we saw this yesterday, Miles. We saw, I mean, what game was it we casted? Røkkr versus OGLA yesterday?
Yeah.
And the domination, it was literally one side to one team, the other side to the other, and it was the defining moments of a couple of flags which really changed it. So don't rule Paris out of it just yet.
Yeah, far from over. The fight is not done yet. Watch that number 9, Dens. Sneaky Dens, not so sneaky. Quavo sniffs him out. OpTic have once again managed to win the fight for B. This was not how the round opened up for Paris. They do have control of A, and they have to not relinquish that. That right-hand side of the map is a gold mine right now, and you want to be mining that one as much as possible. Dens with the MP5 in hand, again on a smaller map like Hackney Yard. But again, Lucas already having struggles there. Slasher running the AR as well for his squad. Really putting up big numbers at this point in time. 18-8. Both squads now making their way towards B. Paris to the hold for the meantime. TJ is going to clear out up top. Give him something to work with here. Give him a bit of an angle.
I think OpTic Gaming, they need to very much play this sensibly here. And yes, they had the slaying power in the first half, and maybe not the best of positions right now, but they need to be very calculated in how they either neutralize A or go full force at B. They need to keep up the slaying because it certainly has been their side so far. But Kismet finding a nice double top L is going to shut that down. You see number 4, that's Slasher rotating towards that crane, just trying to almost pinch them a little bit and push them out of A, put that pressure on. But Paris, they're holding this very well. And it's nice to see here as they answer back to OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, they've still got a bit of work to do, though. Quavo is going to try and take care of the players on spawn from A. Now you've got members of Paris Legion spawning on the C flag. That's going to be a little bit of bad luck there for OpTic Gaming. Call it luck, call it coding, call it what you will. It's done and it's over. C flag made neutral. OpTic, though, have managed to get themselves A and B, so the shoe's on the other foot now.
This is
DJ.
This is exactly what you didn't want as a Paris fan. Sorry to interrupt there. You saw C go neutral, A and B change hands. This is almost a nightmare here for Paris. Again, with 3 minutes left on the clock, Den's in a position to potentially be a little bit sneaky, but this is not a good look here for Paris.
This is not a good look. I mean, I'm getting flashbacks of St. Petrograd Dom with these very two teams where OpTic managed to do some hideous, unspeakable things to them, but look at that. Shoes on the other foot once again. I mean, I hope you clean those shoes out before swapping them so fervorously, teams. Trip cap for this brief period of time there for Paris Legion. Big tags from Røkkr. Nice work here holding down that B lane. Still going to contend with one more OpTic Gaming player as Quavo. He's gone. Røkkr once again leading the charge for his boys. 7 in a row for him right now. That's his 28th kill of the game. Straight in towards A he goes. And he's absolutely on a rampage right now, Momo.
Yeah, I've been looking at the minimap for a little bit. Number 0 hasn't moved. Zed, I don't know whether he's having a problem or he's just chilling and camping at C, but when he's 10 and 21, that is not ideal. You see him there on that minimap. He's probably going to get taken down very shortly. No, he's chilling. He's killed Slasher and he's good to go. And C gets neutralized. And with 2 minutes left on the clock, there's 20 seconds left. 20 points between these two teams. Honestly, I have no idea what was going on with Zed, but I'm sure he'll be able to talk about that a little later. But now, Paris have flipped it back in their favor where A and B is in their hands. And OpTic Gaming need to go big here. 4 kills, make it 5 in a row. This is the chance here. Jumping on B. The neutralization could come through, but one player up top is Zed. It's the player I was talking about previously. The neutralization comes through. The secure is looking likely. And OpTic Gaming hold this for a couple of seconds here, and this could be game.
Yeah, that could be it. I mean, you saw the absolute intensity from Paris on the retake. They're trying to get back onto the B flag, not able to get much done. They got a couple of kills on those players on spawn, but the flip has begun. They're over by C now. Paris Legion trying to make something special happen here. They could trap him in a B for, I don't know for how long, and not easy to do that, but Kismet has got a big fight on his own. He's going to lose that one to Slasher. Oh, sorry, to Quavo. Quavo's going to get the cap now. And again, the points are very, very close. 1 minute 05 remaining on the clock. A flag is completely unguarded right now for Paris Legion. OpTic will be able to swoop in and steal that one. There's no one from Paris near B. They're going to be able to grab C, but this is looking like the ends of the domination match, Phil, unless Paris Legion could do something insane.
Yeah, it would have to be literally as of right this second as well, and OpTic are not letting this slip. 27 kills for TJ. Kenny, 31 and 24. I know we've screamed a bit of Slash's name. We've screamed some TJ. Kenny really has been outstanding in this domination. 31 kills and counting. We saw him making some very big plays over towards a dashy top L, making it his. And he's having some fun up there. But as the time dwindles away, it is now physically impossible for Paris to win. And therefore, we'll be heading into the hard point with an OpTic Gaming lead of 2-1. Dashy's just now padding the stats. This dead silence is never ending as Zed finally shuts him down.
Well, there were moments, there were glimmers. There were some illuminating highlights from the Paris play, and they managed to get trip caps. They managed to avoid true calamity and disaster at times when the hands were dealt against them. But at the end of the day, to 170 to 143, OpTic Gaming LA will take this lead in the series here, 2-1.
170 to 143 as well. A pretty convincing one. I think you look at the whole domination there, and they really kind of put their mark on it, and it was from the first half as well. They controlled it from the get-go. They went in with a 40-point lead, and they didn't let that slip. There was moments where Paris potentially could have come back and clawed their way back into this, but credit to OpTic Gaming for really just kind of holding on, and a lot of that goes to those individual plays. I think Dashy and Kenny were fantastic.
Really impressive stuff, man. I mean, we'll be going wild over Slash's performances and everyone's looking good, but I want to give some love to the Paris Legion. Zed playing his role as best he possibly can there, really trying to fill the gaps, but man, Røkkr went wild in that map. We saw an 8 spree out of him, helping to retake B and A and almost alone. It was pretty wild. Disgusting stuff nonetheless, but there's your stats on screen. I mean, that is a lot of kills across the board. OpTic really in the driver's seat, managing to maintain tremendous presence there, but I mean, I was more impressed by the ARs of both teams than I think anyone else. With 30 and 19 for Slasher, 32 and 28 there for Røkkr. Brilliant stuff, regardless. But Phil, now we're going to another hard point, and you brought it up just before the end of the Search and Destroy, which was OpTic have got to ride this momentum now, you know, and this is it. We're all aboard the OG Express. And the next stop is a hard point, which they should be very, very confident going into. But do you think they are? Do you think they know this is a win? Do you think they just have to play this sensibly? Do you think Paris can beam this one back, man?
I think for OpTic Gaming now, you've won the hard point in that fashion. Sorry, you've won the domination in that fashion. You've had a very strong Search and Destroy. I think we're seeing TJ very, very comfortable, which I think TJ, when Cat was on the team, TJ just wasn't putting in that kind of TJ of old. You know, we saw him years ago, or a year ago, whatever it would be, on the likes of Rise, and he was kind of like that X Factor, and that wasn't just in Search and Destroy. He seems very comfortable with Chino on the team, and I like what he's bringing to the table now. I'd love to hear more in-game comms from OpTic Gaming, if I'm being completely honest. I think they just seem like... oh, appreciate it. I think they seem like they have a direction that they're going with this squad. People will look individually at Chino's stats and go, he's performing all right, he's doing okay. But for me, when you make a roster change, much like Zero, much like Mac, is how it affects and radiates through the rest of the squad. For OpTic Gaming, I think it's doing well right now.
Yeah, they are glowing right now, but it's not just the professionals we show a lot of love to here in the Call of Duty League. Challengers is still running. Of course, Finn's Challenger Cups brought to you by PlayStation 4, still up and about, and there's 5 total online events. They're all combined prize purse of $250,000, more of $1 million up for grabs for the amateur scene, so not a bad thing whatsoever. And again, everyone can get involved in those. You can sign up, and there's a lot of pro teams. I still see my timeline full of tweets, players looking for teams. Again, every single home series basically comes with that Challengers Cup. Next one takes place on June 13th and 14th with 50k up for grabs across all 3 regions, which is going to be great. And on Sundays, you get a broadcast, which is a lot of fun. So in case you weren't getting enough Call of Duty in your life, there's tons more to watch and play for now. So don't forget to head over to callofdutyleague.com/challenges and get registered. Oh, Philip, do you remember what it was like to play, to compete? Do you remember that?
I do. Part of me misses it. Part of me doesn't miss any part of it. You know, it's a very stressful time, and for pros, AMs, and everything in between, it's just, you've got to put a hell of a grind in. You've got to be committed, dedicated, and really realize that this is not a one-person sport. You know, you're reliant on your teammates, and I think it's so important to build that. But I kind of miss it. I kind of miss that competitive edge, the feeling of winning, the feeling of shutting down a team, or maybe being that underdog is pretty special, Miles, I'll be honest.
I think the one thing for me when I think about challenges or think of amateur events, I think of like trash talk, man. I think of like having these big open lands where everyone's screaming at each other. Like, it's such an exciting atmosphere to be a part of, and that's one thing that now I'm like, kind of missing that with COVID. That's another thing to be missed with COVID. You know what I mean? This is a weird one. Anyway, enough of that doldrums. We're about to roll into our next match. We've got what? Ramaza hardpoint, brother. This is going to be it. This is match point. This is the elimination map for Paris Legion. Do not lose this one, boys. Push it to a game 5. Give us an R-Clog peak. Make this one as exciting as humanly possible. But for OpTic, one more map's all they need.
And as well for Paris, I was having a bit of back and forth on the previous home series. I forget which one it was now. Florida, was it?
Yeah.
With Kismet, and I predicted him to, lose the first 2 games, and sadly for him, he did. And he was kind of saying, it only lights the fire. And I think for Paris, they're going through a very tough time now in the sense that, they are seemed like they're a little bit not overlooked, but it's almost to the sense that they aren't performing to their capability as of right now. But we're in the game, Miles, and Kismet, he'll be trying to keep his team alive and trying to push this game 5.
Yeah, solid start here from OpTic. Again, they're on the side where the next hardpoint spawns, but looks like Paris have managed to slip through and flip that one. Dens goes toe-to-toe with Dashi and gets taken down. Dashi can't survive too much more of the onslaught there in the bottom of construction. Spawns now towards the rear side of the second hardpoint for Paris Legion. Still, OpTic in a commanding position right now to take his hardpoint time and take these attacks as and when they come from Paris. Chino up top, 1 kill to his name. Final 20 seconds on this first hardpoint.
Yeah, Kenny is running straight from the dom to the hardpoint. It feels like the game didn't end. He's got 7 kills already to his name. Again, when you tally that up, I think there's 9 on the side of Paris Legion. He is a walking, running, destroying machine right now. Kenny is just not taking this lightly. And a game, TJ with a 5-kill streak, having a good time. But OpTic Gaming is looking good.
Yeah, looking very good indeed. OpTic have managed to net themselves control of this hardpoint. Paris now doing what they can to charge forward and try to get the break. Let's have a quick Astro Gaming listen in with the Paris Legion.
One guy could be mid somewhere, maybe. I got one. One's on the wall, Chino.
Tag.
In on the wall.
Trophy, shoot the trophy. Yeah, shot the trophy, shot the trophy.
Nice. Steady, close, steady.
I'm going to try and contest.
He's close water. Close. He's dead.
He's bathroom now. He's pushing his
Kenny, absolutely Kenny.
One more. Yeah, Kenny's in. Oh yeah, spawn middle here. Wait, hold the left.
Yeah, I got one on the left.
One dead. I got camper.
One on the left on me.
Wait, hold the left. Get a shot. I'm backing up. Kenny, wait, come on. Okay. I'll give you one. You got P1, yeah? Okay. Base and you want P1, Chino, 1 shot dead. More so big army. Getting doubles dead. What's open, Zach?
I'm
just flying around right now. Everything really. One sandbag now. One more, doubles, Slasher.
I'm top middle.
Top doubles. Looks like they're hitting left thing, guys. Yeah, they are. Yeah, nothing P1, I'm back.
They kick off dark alley,
Nice. One guy's P1 right now. Pick it up. I got that.
One shot.
I've got bomb mid. One shot P1 dead. I'm on the wall. 2 2B5. We need help, guys. One to the back, in the back. He's at the back. Chino weak, side door.
Chino dead.
One shot. Ladder, jump it down. Kenny. There's one in the back. Back arc, back arc. Get
back on, go back on.
Don't be SNA. Free door.
Nice.
In the back, you need that.
I'm hitting it. Paris Gom sounding pretty clear. I mean, we heard Shock say it himself. Keep cooking, Zach. Keep cooking. Zed finds himself a 5 spree throughout that listen in, and trying to find themselves back into this hard point is Paris Legion. 117-27 as OpTic Gaming LA, Phil. They are running away with this.
Yeah, they seem to just wrap up the first 2 hard points so well and pretty much take every single point from it. And you could almost see in the gameplay the voices of Paris, the formal reset going into that barbershop. And they've done pretty well, obviously getting a couple seconds out of it, but even better is the rotation that they've got right now. Onto construction, the kills are actually coming, and that's one thing I noticed. Even though they were down by around 80, they were still getting kills on the board, and it was only a matter of time till they started getting the points too. So an 18 make it 70-point lead now for OpTic Gaming. It does look good, but Paris certainly not out of this one.
Yeah, Paris doing a great job already. First 30 go their way. Røkkr trying to make sure that the next 30 do as well. Quavo opening up for now is for a push down low. But already the rotation now for Paris Legion underway. Number 8 and number 0. That's going to be Shocked and Zed making their way across map, trying to make safe the ruins, while the battle rages on the bottom of construction site, still being won by Paris Legion. They're going to net the rest of this time, so brilliant bit of work done. But TJ Halley and his teammates of OpTic Gaming LA have managed to make the ruins secure for the next flip.
Yeah, nicely done there. Kenny finalized it with an FMJ kill onto Shocked through the door. Very penetrable wood, but like I said, that 90-point lead went down to 70. It is still dwindling, but OpTic Gaming with 52 seconds left on this hard point. Look at that minimap. They can't even get even close to it at this moment. The kill feed is green. OpTic Gaming, this is where they could rebuild that lead.
Yeah, they got to do what they can to hold on to this chunk of time. Through the front gates come Paris. They are cut down immediately. TJ able to almost get that one there onto Røkkr, not before being brought down. Dashi takes care of the left flank handedly. No one from Paris Legion able to really get close. Zed will manage to find the kill onto Dashi, and now through the front gates we go. But once again, whether it's Quavo, whether it's TJ, whether it's Slasher, they're holding that top position so well. 163 on the contest, but 80 for Paris Legion, who have yet to really break into the ruins. A super hold there from OpTic Gaming LA.
Yeah, 1v1. This is absolutely a huge 1v1 for TJ right now. TJ is going against Røkkr. And there you have it. It's a massive 1v1, and even though he's the only one alive here, this just stops any form of push or pressure onto this hard point right now. You see Shock's almost forced onto it there, but he could be pinched and pushed back here by OpTic. Zed, though, top catwalk is going to get taken down as well. Shock's has done really well just to kind of stay on board, and I think he's been uncontested by TJ. Finally gets taken down there as Shock's bringing some heat here for Paris Legion. They're going to break out of that 100-point mark pretty soon. And again, maybe put the pressure back onto OpTic.
Yeah, it's difficult. You see those little moments though where TJ wins that 1v1, he creeps up the ladder. The comms would be so frantic there for Paris. You wouldn't be able to hear that player, you know, grappling with the ladder there. So little moments like that starting to separate these two teams. Paris still keeping these kills coming, keeping the hard point time in their hands. They've got a good hold here on the bridge, but we have to roll over towards the electronic shop next. Bottom left on the minimap. OpTic already in position. Paris now trying to make a slow move through mid to get it. Shock's winning those gunfights down low is going to help this one. Kismet backing him up now. Stuns come through. Quavo is a ringing. Now he's gone. Keep the pressure now mounting, but OpTic on the counterattack. Slasher with 2 kills. Slasher almost with the 3rd. And Chino, he's going to be able to back him up as well. Paris have been forced into a funnel. They weren't able to make much there happen. And now the kills come through. They've got some ground to work with here to assault the second hard point. But OpTic, commanding lead still, Phil. This break from Paris is going to be sick.
This is going to be impressive for sure. I mean, they're breaching on that 200-point mark, and Paris are going to be struggling, and it's almost panic mode when it's setting in. Brink of elimination again. Huge plays by OpTic Gaming, just simply outslaying. Not by a lot, but just by a little bit, and a little bit goes a long way sometimes in these hardpoint games. So with 25 seconds, a good break here for Paris Legion to potentially hold on. You'd expect a rotation coming in from OpTic Gaming now, and see them set up over by the barbershop.
Oh, all we know is it is never over until it is over, especially in hardpoint. Barbershop now lined up. OpTic Gaming have had their number called, and here they go. They're already in position. Backspawn's truly in control, and it's that number 2, Quavo's trying to intercept those players making their way forward. There he is. Quavo does nothing of the sort as he goes down immediately. Still, hardpoint opens up. Now for business. Chino keeping these shots coming, making sure no one gets through ruins. Still one player left there, but OpTic has got to now turn the rotation to the front of the shop. Røkkr trying to break the entry through front. He doesn't get anything there. Slasher and TJ still holding the line. Nades coming out. Over the 210-point mark we go. OpTic Gaming are in a position to get the win. Dashy valiantly holding down the sides, Phil, but for OpTic now, I mean, it's starting to look a little bit easier for him.
It certainly is. And again, when you get 25 points away from a victory, a series win, you start to really get that adrenaline pumping, and that's clearly going well for Chino. 23 and 16 here, a +5 for Kenny. And you see them just trying to bounce into this hard point. But Shocks and company, they are holding them off. They are pushing them back. They need to keep this up, but they need to hit that rotation as well, and they need to hit it now. It's not a bad look here for Paris. I tell you what, it's the best of a bad situation. But OpTic Gaming, one break is all it takes right here. Let's see if OpTic Gaming can do this with a smoke through the middle. They're going to start to push, but they're not really that close to it. Again, crazier things have happened. Do not rule Paris out of this.
Yeah, can't rule Paris out. They know they're going to be spawning closer to the hard point. However, they've opened up an entire lane of attack here. Kismet's going to have to contend now with one member of OpTic just close. Dashy checks his corners, remembers his training, peeks in for the contest. Here comes the push. Kismet's going to make the read and gun him down. That's a good hold. Got to keep these kills coming though if you're Paris Legion. Quavo now through the double doors. Dens gets absolutely skinned alive. 30 seconds remaining. But Paris still holding it. They take care of Quavo up front, and now you have to think of rotations. They get across 200 points. But they have to make their way to Ruins. The last time we saw Ruins, it was not good for Paris Legion. This time has to be different.
Yeah, and you see OpTic Gaming again, they rotate, but they rotate so early that they need to maintain that these cuts. I think Quavo up top, middle is a crucial one as number one. Chino as well, they'll be trying to cut this down. They're throwing absolutely everything at it. Stuns, smokes, grenades, but as the time ticks over, they are close enough. A break needs to come through. That kill feed needs to be white, and Paris Legion, they do break in. OpTic Gaming, where are they going to spawn? Just a little bit behind here, but with plenty of time to do this, they just need one break. The kill feed is looking ever so Paris right now, though. The sprays coming through as Kismet lying down. Chino waiting for his backup. Slasher and Chino looking like they're going to calculate just one more push here. A little bunny hop round the corner. He's going to see Slasher fall. TJ and Chino go down. Paris Legion can do it, Miles.
They can do it. They can honestly get it done here. Kismet keeps the kills coming. Dashy with a nice bit of late game heroics as he gets these kills. Stays alive. Bobs and weaves straight back into the fight. But it's not enough. Dashy with the multi-kills. He doesn't get any more out of it. 20 seconds remain. 15 on the contest, as once again Paris Legion have actually done an incredible job here, but there we go. OpTic with control. They can get the win. There needs to be a contest here from Paris. They have to keep throwing bodies onto the point. This is it for your life in the tournament, and no one is there to get it done.
Wow.
OpTic Gaming LA, they get the win. In the dying seconds of that hard point, Paris had a tough call to make, and they made it. The guillotine falls, and Paris Legion, they bow out here at the Seattle home series.
Oh, what a way to go. And OpTic Gaming again, they were kind of getting pushed back and pressured to the very back of the spawn. She made a big three-piece there and spawned 3 players out pretty far out as well. And it was just not easy for Paris to get back in. You saw obviously OpTic, they can slide through the back, through the little archways. Paris had to kind of mount over there. A real tough ask, and a 3-1 victory to OpTic Gaming. My goodness, it's a stressful one to watch, I'll be honest, Miles.
That was crazy, man. That was a really exciting hard point. Paris within... They could honestly taste it. They had the rotation set as well. They were ready to get back to bridge. They were ready to get the final, 10, 15, or like 6 seconds they needed if they hadn't lost those fights. In those dying moments, the stats of that incredibly exciting hard point matchup to close out the series as OpTic Gaming lived to fight another day. Paris Legion... so close, yet so far. Man, they've got to be kicking themselves. I think the Dom had to go, man. The Dom, that needed to be a big win for them. Because the Search and Destroy was very solid. It's still a loss, but very competitive nonetheless. Those rounds were brilliant. The Dom, there needed to be big improvements in the Dom, but at the end of the day, like, whoa, man, I'm so excited. One of my beard hairs shot up my nose and now it's tickling me. Man, that was a good series.
Miles, I feel like your head just gets smaller and smaller every single week.
A bigger
it's
lens.
just really just an illusion that the hair is getting bigger and bigger. Quite impressive to say the least. One thing I do want to say, and this is not something kind of scripted, but I built my bracket. I don't know if you did, Miles, as well. And my bracket started so well yesterday and I was kind of tallying my points. Shout out to some of you guys as well back home who've built your brackets. I was looking at the leaderboards. I think it's El Godfrey 96 has got every single match scoreline absolutely bang on, including the OpTic Gaming versus Paris one we just saw there 3-1, except one map. Royal Ravens he predicted was to win 3-1 over the Subliners. But it's so interesting to see these guys. He predicted Huntsmen to go and win it all 3-0, so maybe we need him on the desk. I don't know. But it's impressive to see kind of how this is all going down, because my bracket today has just crumbled, Miles.
You were doing
all
so well.
My predictions were wrong.
You were doing so well. You were loving it yesterday, mate.
I was on there refreshing it, tallying up my points today. I crossed it off. I was done. I'm out.
Peace out, brother. Peace out. Well, here we go. The scuff play of the game was the end of that incredible hard point. And again, watching that comeback mounting for Paris Legion was fantastic. But at the end of the day, it comes down to a couple of kills here or there, especially in those dying seconds. Momo, what an incredible finish that was. Massive props there to OpTic Gaming to not letting that get out of hand.
Incredible. It really was incredible. I do want to credit Paris first and foremost, because they were down by about 80 at one point at the very start. It was like 93-3, potentially more. Maths is difficult, I know. But at that very end there, you start to see, just look at the mini-map here. It's very much like pushing it, and it was Paris holding them back. But look at the Paris spawns. They spawn around construction, around electric shop, whereas we see OpTic Gaming spawning, just behind it, a barber shop. You do see a very good rotation as well come out of number 5 and number 1, that's Tino and Dashi, just in case. And we didn't get to see that, but that would have been an incredible couple of gunfights as well. If it was to be contested and it was pushed back over there, who would have won it over there? Would it have been Dashi and Chino? Would it have been Røkkr and Zed? I think it was those two who were there for Paris, but it was just so much to take in. OpTic Gaming come up clutch. They are not out of the tournament. They lost yesterday to Røkkr in a hard Game 5, round 11, but they progress against the Legion in 4 maps.
What an amazing day it's been already of COD. Like, really. Superb stuff. We've got an exciting game coming later. Again, the Guerrilla Surge rematch. Will the farming continue? And after that, Minnesota Røkkr going up against OpTic Gaming Los Angeles. Brilliant stuff. The winner of... Will the farming continue? I don't know, man. I mean, the Seattle fans...
saw it's Surge versus Guerrillas next, Miles.
But Seattle fans are rubbing their hands to death right now. Just like, we got this. They got their pitchforks out. They're plowing the fields of Guerrillas Town now. But you cannot count the Guerrillas out yet, Phil. This is not over. But of course, the winner of Minnesota Røkkr versus OpTic Gaming Los Angeles will advance into bracket. And then, of course, the Surge and Guerrillas game, they play Subliners, which is honestly surprising to see Subliners lose to London in the way they did.
Listen, you can substitute players in now. We've seen teams do it. Chuck in Aches. Try something different. Bring him back. Just... I want a competitive game for the Surge Guerrillas. I tell you what, the social media is always entertaining afterwards. I think Slacked last time was tweeting like, easy games, you guys are trash, or something ironic, is funny, but I want to see Guerrillas do it, man. They got to win soon.
What a time to do it as well at the Seattle home series, but mate, here we go. Don't forget, friends, we've also got the US Air Force 2v2 gunfights are still running at this moment in time for the rest of the season. The US Air Force invites you to head to Game Battles to compete in these 2v2 gunfight tournaments to take place every single Wednesday following a home series weekend. You and your friends can compete for the chance to win $1,000 courtesy of the CDL. If you manage to win the whole thing, so obviously one coming up after this weekend, yet to be decided who the winners are. And the Laser and Vector 4, obviously they've won those first 2, and that's where everyone starts to get a little bit more competitive. Well, friends, thank you very much for joining us through this brilliant series. Coming up next to PlayStation Instant Reaction, Lottie is going to be talking to Chino. We'll see you after the break.